Hello, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Israel in Style. I'm Emmanuel Kadosh, here to show you guys all the ins and outs of Israeli fashion, culture, and lifestyle. Every week, the hottest designers, biggest Israeli celebs, and the coolest bloggers come into the studio and tell their stories and share their experience. And today's show is no different. So let's jump straight into it. To kick off today's show, joining me first in the studio is someone I look up to very much. She's pretty much done it all. She co-hosted an Israeli culture TV show. She's a radio host. She's been named one of Israel's most stylish women. And all of this while looking absolutely fabulous. Daphna Lustig, how are you?
I'm good after this introduction.
I'm so excited to have you in here. You hosted a TV culture show, radio show. You do it all.
And we shared a makeup room.
We shared a makeup room. I know. So for the viewers who don't know you as well as I do, how did you get involved in the entertainment world?
Well, this was like, when I was a child, radio, which was the first thing I did. It was like, it's like a virus. It's like a bug. I was like 9 years old, listening obsessively to the radio, recording on tapes, because it was the 80s.
Back then on tapes.
Back then on tapes, not even CDs. Recording the show I like, the people I love to listen to.
Right.
And when I became like 16 or 17, just old enough to go and look for a job, the first thing I did was tell my father, who do you know on the radio? Someone, any station, just get me in here. Because I was so obsessed with this medium. And he knew someone. Yeah? Someone in the station I still work in 22 years later. Oh my God.
You're like, oh my God, this is coming to me.
I started when I was 17, and I am now almost 39.
First of all, that's ridiculous. Look at your gorgeous pink hair. You're not 39.
Yeah.
And so you've been working there for a while. You just knew it, right? It was something that you just had a passion for. And it's funny that you say that, because I studied, communications and had the radio, and I always had a passion for radio. And now we're on TV, but you also did TV.
Yes, Israel is a very small place, so once you do something successfully on one medium, they immediately ask you, and it's a blessing, and I'm so happy I was asked to come to work on TV. And I did many things on TV, most of them involving culture and music.
This is us. This is me interviewing you at another event.
On like best dressed list, right?
Exactly.
Something like that. When I used to be blonde.
She was like, this only happened yesterday.
Yeah, this is really fresh.
So you've done it all on TV also, right?
And so on TV I've done the Israeli Fashion Channel, the Israeli Music Channel. I've done some primetime, like judging on shows like the Israeli Got Talent stuff.
Stuff like that.
Star is War,
exactly.
Like
It's something like that. But you've been on a lot of shows and you've hosted things, and you've done both. So as somebody who has done both radio and TV, what do you think is more of your vibe?
So my calling in life is radio. My thing is radio. I'll do television anytime. I love it, and I do it quite a lot because, as I said, it's like a small market. You do what you can do.
Right.
But for me, as a choice, if I had to choose one thing, it would always be radio. It's just such a delicate, intelligent way of self-expressing.
I agree 100%. We talked about this before, without actually seeing you, people get to know you,
Exactly.
So why don't we talk about fashion? You literally have been, praised here in Israel as somebody who has so much style, not just from like publications, even my mom's like, oh, I love her style,
How does your mom know me?
Because everyone does, that's the thing. So how did you get involved in fashion?
I really did not get involved in fashion.
I don't know what they're talking about.
All I loved as a teenager was music, fashion, and culture magazines. So I would like religiously read magazines that when print was something.
When you would look at the actual magazines.
So I got a lot of concepts and ideas and inspiration from that, and I felt like another way of self-expressing myself would be fashion, clothes, and just people started to notice. I never said my goal is to be a fashion icon.
Right.
But people started to notice.
I think that's why people did that, though. I think that's why people really respect it and appreciate it, because you're not a blogger. You're not posting, even I follow you on Instagram and you don't even post like, you know, every outfit that you're wearing.
No, I don't feel
stuff
the
like that,
need
but
to.
people still, you know, see you in events and, you know, everybody's seeing
They
you in the
always
media.
judge what I wear. They always look at...
Nerve-wracking is that?
Yeah, it used to be very nerve-wracking, but then at a certain point you say, fashion is what I love. This is
Right.
what I do for fun.
Exactly.
Okay?
Don't ruin it.
So I'm gonna do what I want, and if people like it, that's great. And if they don't like it, I want to hear the feedbacks.
Yeah.
Maybe I can learn
Positive or
something.
negative criticism is always good.
Yeah.
So where can people see, hear, what's your next big thing?
So now basically it's mostly the radio show, 8 to 10 every
Yes.
morning on 102 FM. It's Radio Tel Aviv for people who know Hebrew.
Yes. For
and
people who know
would
Hebrew.
And would like to listen outside of Israel. There's an app, very successful app.
Yeah.
They can get all our content
Amazing.
on demand, streaming, very, very good. And I'm actually looking for my next thing.
So we're looking
probably
for
fashion.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be some
Probably
type of fashion
fashion,
involved in
yeah.
your next project. And we'll have to have you come back here and talk about your next project then.
Oh, I'd love to. Thank
All
you,
right.
Emmanuel.
Thank you so much for coming in, Daphna. Such an inspiration. And
Thank you.
Can't wait to hear your radio show next week and the week after that. So thank
Thanks.
you. If you are in the area, make sure to tune into 102 FM Radio Tel Aviv, Sunday to Thursday from 8 to 10. And of course, make sure to keep up with all her fashionista outfits at any worthy event here in the city. All right, let me just start off with this. If you've visited Tel Aviv in the last couple of months, you have definitely been recommended to visit my next guest's new restaurant. And if you haven't, you've most definitely seen all your friends' Instagram stories with bomb food and a crazy nightlife scene. So joining me in the studio now is a personal favorite of mine, not just because he won last year's Israeli MasterChef, and not just because we used to cook together on Flavors of Israel. Tom Aviv, how are you?
Best introduction I ever had.
I know, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So I know all about you. Our viewers don't know too much about you. So why don't you tell them how you got involved in cooking?
In cooking, wow. Actually, to be honest, I'm cooking professionally for the last year and 2-3 months. That's it. Since I passed the casting for MasterChef.
Right.
Before that, I studied the business and administration in IDC.
Right.
And worked in real estate. You know, tiles.
It was never something, yeah.
Never. I used to cook at home, of course.
Right.
And I grew up to a family of restaurateurs in Tel Aviv, famous restaurateurs.
Yeah, your parents had a really big restaurant, a few restaurants
But then again,
here.
20 years ago.
Right. So you grew up in the culinary world because your parents were involved, but you never really saw it as a passion until MasterChef?
I saw it as a passion, but my father
was like, I don't
tried
think so.
tried to maneuver me out of it. He knew, and he still knows, how tough the business is.
Right.
And how many things you're going to lose on this way.
Yeah,
on this path.
But I was at your new restaurant recently, and your dad was there, and he said he was
You were 3 times, be honest.
I
be
was there
honest.
plenty of times, everybody.
Yeah.
But your dad was there, and he seemed super proud of you. So why don't you tell us about your new restaurant, Coco?
Coco Bambino.
Coco Bambino.
I'm in love with the Coco.
Yes?
Yeah, there's a song.
I'm in love with the Coco, yes.
And I am, to be honest, because we opened up an Italian hafla, which means it's the combination between Italian food, which is very traditional, very uptight, to be honest, and we try to mix it up with the looseness of Tel Aviv and Israel, and try to make it hafla, which means balagan.
Balagan, crazy party, nightlife. Everyone's dancing on the bars, on the tables. These are videos of mine coming to visit you, so it's funny.
Yeah, here you can see the balagan.
Yes.
And we did it in the food and with the atmosphere and with the drinks.
Right.
All of the Coco Bambino, it's not really a restaurant. We can't call ourselves a restaurant per se, and we're not a bar. We are the mixture between it, and we kind of a dinner party, which doesn't exist in Israel yet.
Well, it's a dinner party for us, because I know as somebody that's been there way too many, I think I'm there every week, I swear. I know all your bartenders.
And we love you.
And so we have a great time. Coco loves me.
You're a great friend, Coco.
So when you go there, it's never boring. You know, it's never you're sitting at an Italian restaurant and everything's proper or whatever. It's fun. It's a really good atmosphere. You really changed it up a lot.
The people who come to the Coco Bambino, they make the atmosphere even crazier.
Right.
By being themselves and being open and free, and they get inside and they do whatever they want. And if they want to dance on the bar, dance on the bar. If you want to dance on the table, dance on the table. We let them do whatever they want.
You kind of let your customers control the atmosphere of the night.
Yes.
What is going to be your next project? Can you talk about it?
Big question. I can't talk about it.
Okay.
There is a next project.
Okay.
It's
secret.
It's secret.
It's a big secret, but let's put it this way. It's definitely going to be big. We know that for a fact.
We are not stopping in 2018.
There you go. And do you see yourself going into, the States? Do you see yourself opening up something in America or abroad?
It's funny because actually, you can tell the audience,
yes.
I know your mom. My mom lives in the same building with your mom.
Right.
In Miami. And before I decided to open the Coco Bambino, I've been to Miami. And I met with investors who wanted to open the restaurant for me.
Right.
And I said no, because I didn't have the connection, the vibe that I wanted.
Right, it's really important.
To create a magic. I am looking forward to go outside of the borders of Israel, States, London, Europe. I don't know.
Exactly.
But I will.
So for anybody and everybody who's interested in following along, where can they, obviously other than Coco Bambino, where else can they, follow along on your journey?
My journey. First of all, I have my own cooking show in Reshet 13, which called the Recipe for a Passport.
Okay.
Passport for a recipe.
Okay.
So I always mix it up, even in English, even in Hebrew. I don't know which one is true. That's the first one. There's another show that is going to be on, I think, during Pesach on Reshet 13, which is Ready, Steady, Cook.
Okay.
Which I'm participating in.
Amazing.
In Reshet 13 as well. And there's some things on
and there's some things that we can't really talk too much about. But we are definitely looking forward. We're definitely going to come take a visit to your restaurant and check it out. So thank you so much.
I'm waiting for you.
Yes, I'll be there tonight.
Yeah.
All right, well, you probably didn't hear it here first because everyone's talking about it anyway. But if you are visiting the area, go check out Coco Bambino near Shuka Carmel here in Tel Aviv. I'll be there tonight. Go follow along Tom Aviv's journey on his Instagram and keep a lookout for his next big project. So the more I live in Tel Aviv, the more I'm exposed to all different types of food, a fusion of different culinary cultures, but when I think about it, I'm not too aware of the nutritional value of all the foods I eat. Whether I eat enough protein and if I'm truly living a healthy lifestyle. Well, with me in the studio today is the registered dietitian and fitness instructor, Yafit Ben Mordechai, to help make sense of all of this for me. Hi, love, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. So why don't we just jump straight into it? How did you get involved in the nutritional world?
Okay, actually, ever since I was a child, I was really fascinated by the nutrition field. And also, I had a lot of experiment on myself when I was a child.
Right.
Like, I used to go to school, and my mom used to give me milk, like chocolate, in a bag to drink. And all the time that I drank it at school, I felt stomachache, and I didn't know why. So I tried to eat it with some bread, like rolled bread, and then I felt like, and I drank just half of the amount, and I felt just fine. And years later, when I've been in my nutrition science, in my first degree in the school, just then I realized that what I did was the professional way that they taught the dietitian to treat with lactose intolerance.
Oh,
so yeah.
So you kind of did your own little science experiment when you were a little girl on yourself. You were just your little guinea pig figuring out why this chocolate milk was hurting my stomach, and then later on you discovered all the things that you thought were real, but you weren't 100% sure.
Exactly. So I needed, the
facts.
Yeah, exactly.
So what about we live here now in Israel, what are some nutritional trends that you see going on? We were talking about lactose intolerance, obviously that's not a trend, but, drinking almond milk and soy milk or being gluten-free, stuff like that. What do you really see here?
So I really see in Israel in general, paleo and veganism is really popular around, which is the common ground to both of these methods is to eat more clean food, more food that close to Mother Earth, less processed food, whereas in the paleo diet you consume more of animal product and avoid some of the legumes family. And in veganism, it's strictly only a plant-based diet. So this is around Israel. Also, if we are looking at the weight loss, so the 17 days diet of Dr. Mike Moreno from Miami is really popular around Israel.
You were also an instructor, right? A fitness instructor. So did that come before or after the nutritional aspect?
It came before. Like when I was a student in high school, I started to get really involved in athletics. I was a long distance runner, and so I wasn't a stranger to
physical activity and like really working out.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been also like all the time in like a sports psychologist and sport nutrition. So to go and study fitness instructor and to go and study nutrition science was the natural
It was
path
just a
for me.
combination.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, why don't you tell us a little bit about your book that is out now? You have 100 secret recipes, right?
Right.
So tell us about it a little bit.
So in the last, I also a foodie, and I'm really into food. I love good food, and I try to make it as healthy as I can. And for the last year, I spend a lot of my time in developing and writing my ebook, which include healthy and tasty recipe. Some of them are even like Italian dishes or Mediterranean dishes that I make healthier, which like I uses more of olive oil and more of like quinoa flakes instead of breadcrumbs. So a lot of techniques in
alternatives for a generally, you know, maybe less healthy, but you're making it healthy. You're giving it your own healthy twist.
Yeah,
to it.
like pancakes from pumpkin, and even cake from pumpkin, and to use you know monk fruit, which is a natural sweetener instead of sugar, and instead of stevia that has like a flavory taste.
Right.
So to use all the good stuff, and in order
make it healthy and delicious.
And delicious. If it's not delicious,
hey,
I can
do
eat
your
it.
job. Amazing.
Yeah.
So where can people find you? Where can they, you know, check out your ebook?
Yeah, so you should definitely check my Instagram account, NutraCoach, and all over the social media. If it's on like YouTube and the
She has
NutraCoach,
YouTube, she has Facebook, you have a website, and now your ebook. Well, thank you so much for coming in. So if you're looking to learn more from Yafit, make sure to check out her book, Yafit's Secret Recipes. Follow along on her website and Instagram and Facebook pages and get to learn more about what you're eating and how to keep a healthy lifestyle. All right, joining me in the studio now to help wrap up today's show is a woman who can make you laugh at just about every moment. Not only that, she can do it in more than one language. Say hello to one of the funniest stand-up comedians I've met both in English and in Hebrew, Sigal Kahana.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm so excited that you're in the studio. I actually came to see one of your first shows here in English, right? It was Funny Monday. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in comedy?
Well, I think that you start doing comedy from the moment that you start to know that you're funny. You feel it in your body. I think when I was a kid, I was just like trying to make everybody laugh.
Right.
In class, with the family, I was imitating everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it until today. And now my kids are afraid of me because they're like, Mom,
they're
don't
like, oh my God,
imitate
she's going to make fun of me right
yeah,
now.
Yeah, I'm embarrassing them in every situation.
So it started from like a young age. You just kind of found your niche. Like you found yourself funny.
I think it's also a power that you use.
Right.
You know, it's like you know that if you're not very beautiful or if you're not very smart, I'm smart and beautiful and funny.
So you're like, oh, I'm all three. This is great.
Yeah.
How do you go from being, you know, I think I'm pretty funny, but I think I only make myself laugh. I tell this to people all the time. Like I only make myself laugh. How do you know that that was what you were going to do, you know, when you grew up?
Well, you don't really know. You just do it. You know, it's like something that, first of all, I have to be on stage because I feel like if I'm not on stage, once, twice, 3 times a week, something is dead in me. I have to do it.
Right.
Everybody have to listen to me because I was a third child. Nobody listened to me.
Oh, there's reasons for everything. You're like, guys, give me the attention I deserve.
Yeah.
This is what's going on stage. So how did you make the transition from doing, you know, is like Hebrew, comedy in Hebrew to English?
Well, last year we moved to New Jersey. We lived in
New Jersey,
yeah.
guys.
Oh my God, this is like the most, I'm sorry, boring place on earth.
This is how me and Sigal actually met. It's when I went to her performance and she was making fun of the one town that I grew up in, and I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Tell me about it. How'd you transition?
Yeah, so we moved there, and then I said, okay, I want to do a comedy. So I did a comedy in Hebrew to all the Israelis in America, but I wanted to try it in English. So I went to Manhattan, and I said, okay, I'm jumping to the water. No, I don't care. Nobody knows me here. No, I don't mind. I mean, even if it's going to be...
Exactly.
Yeah,
who cares?
Who
even
knows?
if no one understands it, it's like, I made a fool of myself, so it's funny anyway, right?
Yeah, right. So, so I just, I did like 5 minutes at the beginning, like an open stage in Manhattan, and I was going on stage, and I don't know why, I felt so relaxed.
Really?
Because I felt like I'm in a character, because it's not my language, and I don't know these people, and I was just starting to talk to them. Are you a couple? Are you, and you know, and you don't, I think that the thing is that you don't really care if they understand, if you're talking in the right way, you know, if you're doing a present perfect,
exactly, because they find it funny anyway.
Yeah, they just need to understand what you're saying, and if it's funny, it's funny.
But you're not just a stand-up comedian. You also did a type of documentary. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I did like 15 years ago, I lived in Manhattan for 6 years, and I decided to document the 3 women that lives in America, and each one of them was in a different state in her life, and it was very, very interesting to see.
Of course.
Each one of them was giving a different perspective of how to live in, how she
lives here lived in the States. Okay, so where can people find you? I know that you're touring around the States soon, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be on May 14. On May 15, I have a show in Manhattan.
Amazing, huge.
Actually, it's gonna be in 68th Street on the synagogue there.
Amazing.
And then I'm moving to Miami. I'm gonna have a show on May 17. Actually, 2 shows there, and next year going to be in Toronto. And
amazing. So whether it's here in Israel or in the States, or like you said, Toronto, everybody can come out and see you, check you out, whether it's in English or in Hebrew. You're pretty funny.
Thank you.
Amazing. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
If you're looking to absolutely pee your pants of laughter, make sure to keep updated on Sigal's upcoming shows, not just here in the Holy Land, but also across the United States. Who knows, maybe she'll be in your city next. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's episode of Israel in Style. Thank you to all the guests who came into our studio today, and for all of you viewers that are out there and want to catch up on any episode, check us out on iltv.tv/Israel in Style. Have a stylish and fabulous week, everyone.